Well, if you didn't get enough information out of the first half-hour interview we had with our guests here, Amanda and David Messner, the owners of One Stop General Contracting LLC, you missed out. There's a lot of great information there. But we're not starting where we stop. We're starting with some new stuff here. We're going to cover some important things that I know that are pertinent to our current world. And it's really interesting just the way technology has affected the way the world works now. So welcome to our studio again. That's Amanda. That's David. And they are the owners of One Stop General Contracting. With that, let's jump right in. Tell me, technology, how has it affected, how has it changed the way you guys do business?
I personally would say it makes things a little bit easier. You know, I mean, our customers, our base is pretty much 30s, 40s kind of age. I feel like really use smartphones, emails, technology as far as when it comes to communicating. It keeps things kind of really honest in a whole. It actually really keeps things pretty simple. Hey, send me a picture of a project you're looking to do. Click, it's a text message.
Right.
You know, it's super simple. I mean, if somebody could even call looking for an idea of a cost, all you do is just send over what they want, and I can literally give them ideas over the phone, so they don't have to waste their time setting up something that they can't afford, or they know that if they got to save some money for ahead of time. We get people to call me and just to get an idea for a cost. And I'll hear back from them 2 years later. Hey, you told me 2 years ago it'd probably be about this. I think I got the money now. And no kidding, we've got one that we're getting ready to start on. Called us 3 years ago, and we're getting ready to start on.
Okay.
So it happens.
And you keep track of that because the technology these days has made it so much easier.
It does.
Absolutely.
That's why I say, how do you lose it? Be careful what you take pictures of because they all get saved somewhere, right? But it's good for especially what you guys are doing because they might have, here's what you told me before.
Absolutely.
Amanda, how's that work?
So it's wonderful too for showcasing the business and kind of advertising. You know, we can put our pictures up there. We can put our reviews. So our reviews come from customers that we've done work for. They put it in their own words on how the project made them feel, how we worked with them, and then we get to showcase our work and then can talk about our company and things like that instead of, oh, I'm going to look somebody up in the white pages. I don't know anything about them. I'm just going to give them a call. And it's like, you know, you don't know what you're getting. When you can go online, look, research, and kind of do your research about a company, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, well, again, that's why we love to give, we're going to give a copy of these interviews to our guests here today because you guys just really have some dynamite work. So much you can see on their website and their social media. If you look, I'm going to give a quick glance to the website you see behind me here. I'll put this on the screen for everybody to see, but just some of the work they've got there. Cute picture of the couple there and where you can contact them. But just a few examples of their work and what they focus on. Basements, decks, primary, but general contracting. They've got all of what it takes to do everything you need for all your contracting needs. And that's nice to have a one-stop shop where you can get all of these things done in one place. And then you can highlight them. That's where the internet has changed. Now you can put all this out there for people to see. That's what we want to do. We want to give a leg up to the smaller businesses who don't know how to get on TV and all the stuff they got to do that and say, hey, come be on our show. We want to help you share what you're doing. So great work you guys have got here.
Thank
and
you.
It looks really good. Tell me though, as you've been in business for a long time now, give me an example, one or two if you can, of a time where you really helped a client that was in a tough situation. A lot of times these are big decisions. There's a lot of money being spent here and they might have been stuck. They might have had somebody who left them in a particular place where they couldn't get it done. Tell me a time where you feel like you really helped somebody.
I mean, there's been so many. It's just kind of almost narrowing down, you know, some of your favorite ones. I mean, we've had situations of a lady that had another contractor that started a deck and ran off with her money. Oh, wow. It was another well-known actual company in the area. Don't want to say any names, of course. Right. She was nervous about, you know, doing anything as far as with fronting money up front. And I told her, I said, look, you know, I'll make a deal with you in writing that I won't even collect a dollar from you till it's finished. And somebody looked at me like, you know, like I'm crazy. I said, well, I'm taking all the risk now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's one prime example because I know that we're confident that it'll be done right to where you'll feel obligated to pay because you'll be happy with it.
That's a great. I mean, when you're going out of your way to help somebody, because there's some lady who's
she was out $13,000.
$13,000, everybody. And that's I was gonna say it's probably out 5 or 10, but 13,000, and that's a big.
She bought all the materials that had already forked out some labor, and they just left a terrible product left. It was
Actually, there's been 2 decks like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's season 1 as an example.
Right.
Okay. Amanda, you've seen some examples of this where you've had to come through and help people.
Oh, absolutely. So we had a a mother of a vet that had a traumatic brain injury, and she was trying to get bids to finish the basement for her son to live with them because he can't live on his own, and didn't quite have enough funding to put an egress in, which is required to have a living space in the basement. And so, we gave her the bid, and still coming up a little short, we ended up doing the egress window for her son, as showing our appreciation for his service. And they got the whole project done, and it was so nice to see how excited he was to have his own living space instead of just a small little bedroom upstairs.
And now, is this an example of one, or is that the actual window?
That's not the actual one, but that is an example.
That is an example,
of
yes.
an egress. So
yes.
This is what you're talking about, because when you're living in a basement, you guys are finishing basements for people all the time. You have to have a place where they can get out if there's a fire.
Every level has to have a fire escape, some form of egress.
Okay. And that's what you built for them. You threw that in.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool. All right, that's where I put the cowboy hat on. So now we had so much the last show. We should have put the hat on earlier, but they do an incredible job in our community. Somebody that's been through a similar situation to myself. I don't really like to compare or compete, but a TBI, a traumatic brain injury.
Yes.
And he needed a special living accommodations. And when you built this for him, then you can't have it for any less for anybody else. They've got to have a way to get out of there in case there is a fire or an emergency. And so you guys put something like that. I'll put that up on the wall for everybody to take a look at. But this is an example. And you see, that isn't any little task. You're digging down 2 or 3 feet deep into the dirt. You got to build all the materials, the metal, put those things in place, frame it up. A lot of labor goes into these kinds of
Cutting
things.
through the concrete's the funnest part.
Cutting through the concrete.
8 inches of concrete's a lot to cut through.
There you go. These are professional concrete cutters we've got here too, everybody, if necessary. Well, you guys do it all. Those are a couple great examples, and that's what we really like to highlight, because it seems to me when you do these kinds of things, they always come back. We were talking pregame in between interviews here a little bit, and it's just, give me some examples. We'll talk about a couple, if you will. And he said, yeah. I said, wow, that could be costly. And you're like, but it was worth it.
It's so worth it.
It was worth it. Tell me, why do you feel it was so worth it?
Well, because I get to show appreciation to somebody who's not been in my shoes, but we both were vets and we have things in common, and I got to sit down with him, have conversations with him, and it just makes your heart feel warm to be able to help somebody who has helped our entire country. And most people don't think about veterans in that aspect. They're here protecting you, so you don't have to. And so I wanted to go out of my way, or our way, to help somebody who's gave up part of their life to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like what she said, kind of like a giving back.
Yeah.
When you give back, when you give, it comes back, and it's
well, he's already given. He was, served and was part of, protected our country, and we love to give back to our veterans and first responders. I mean, it's something that we're very prideful of.
Yeah, we talked about it as a matter of the people you feel like you contribute most to, but the vets, the people who put their life on the line, who's served in our military, literally, so many of them made the ultimate sacrifice. I've got a number of friends who've been through that. But then also those first responders, they are the ones who are going out there saving people, pulling them out of car accidents like what happened to me.
Absolutely.
Why do you guys have so much appreciation for them, do you think?
I worked 16 years in the ER, worked side by side, firefighters, EMS, police officers. I mean, they're all right there in the mix of anything, and it doesn't matter what it's doing outside. They're right there to help anyone who needs it. And I feel like if you're going to do that and take your time to serve the community, we should serve you as well.
Wow. And again, that's what makes the world go round, everybody, and what we're looking for from the leaders in our community. Amanda and David doing a great job here. Well, tell me, I'm sold. I want to sign up. Tell me, what's the process somebody goes through when they're ready to hire you to do some work?
I mean, it's something as simple as a phone call and, inquiry as far as with what you're wanting to get done. I mean, it's, if you're wanting a remodel, a tear down of a deck replaced, I mean, something framed out, I mean, just, typically some plans, some ideas, some drawn up. I mean, I tell people, even if it's a third grade sketch as far as what you're wanting to do, just give me someone on some paper. The way I can kind of interpret, pictures worth 1,000 words, they say it, there's a reason for it. So I don't want to guess exactly what you're wanting to do. Kind of give us a little insight and start working some numbers, figure out a budget, and if we kind of come to that median that you're happy with, then we move forward on it.
Yeah, Amanda, what's the process like? Do you enjoy this? How involved are you in this, getting this going? You're probably running most of it.
Actually, David does a lot of the estimates and getting the ball rolling. Okay. I kind of step in when we're more fine-tuning things, colors, choices, materials, different things like that. When I can see colors and design a lot better when it comes to, the actual fine designing. So I usually kind of get brought in at that point. And I like to talk to customers a lot about it because I get more feedback once they can see bare bones, or once they see, some framing done. Then their mind starts thinking a little bit more, and we get more into those conversations of fine-tuning the final picks of things.
So you're going to help make sure that everything looks the way they want it to look,
yes,
and make it look professional and give that final touch.
Absolutely.
And make sure this guy's putting the work together and make sure to put it all. He's the one doing.
He does a fantastic job.
Yeah. And get these final products. Like I said, we're going to show a lot more of this work off. We've also got another guest going to join us here in a minute. Brad, I'll give you your cue. You got 3 minutes and 42 seconds, okay? Count that down.
Start counting.
In that ballpark. But Brad helps you out of the work to get this done. What's it like running a team, running a crew to make sure that this all comes together?
Oh, I almost hate to say it's fun.
Really?
It really is. I mean, we've got days that we just really make jokes and laugh. I mean, yes, there's serious behind it, but you got to enjoy what you do. And what's fun is when you keep it fun. Essentially, it keeps a positive drive. Everybody loves coming to work every day, and we keep that attitude of getting things finished at that top tier.
Amanda, that's the case, right? That's what you're
Absolutely. We like to have fun at work, of course, being safe as well. But the guys who work with us, they're our family. So, I mean, we also take care of each other. We're always watching each other's backs and things like that. So I feel like we have a nice atmosphere to work with.
Well, you guys have put it together well, and we're going to show off a lot more of that work like we showed you. First show, we only got through a little bit of this, so this show we'll hopefully go through a little bit more of that because they've got some great looking stuff. Tell me before we bring Brad on here, what's a big challenge you guys have had to overcome with your business or challenge that you've seen a customer go through that you had to pull them through something? I mean, we've talked about a couple of those, but business is tough. What's it like? What are some things you've had to overcome?
To be honest with it, COVID, yeah, everybody had COVID. I would say challenges really, are just finances for people. You get rates that start getting high, people can't afford some of these projects. We're not just selling things for $20. There's a few more zeros behind there.
Right.
So it's a lot of money to come up with, and most people don't have it just sitting in the bank. Whether they're a veteran, that's been disabled and they need new space to be, we've got people that have relatives that become disabled, maybe need to accommodate their home for
parents.
We relocate laundry rooms, bathrooms, because of people in needs, and sometimes just getting the money. That's honestly the trouble. I get people that they're all excited about starting and they go, Dave, I can't get funds. So what's nice is we have some avenues. We offer financing. We've got some people that we can refer them to go those directions. 9 times out of 10 it works out. Unfortunately, not everybody. But we try to do everything we can, even if it's maybe doing a project in stages, which not a preferred method to do, but try to accommodate everything we can to, especially in these situations where people are just, they're hurting.
Right. They're really in need, and you want to see and make sure that their project gets done. Especially if it's a need, not a want. That starts to really take hold, and we really push even harder to try to find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, that kind of hits home for myself. My father suffered a severe stroke, and then we needed to put handbars up.
Yeah.
And they ended up figuring out it was probably going to be best for him to remodel not one, but both of the upstairs bathrooms.
Right.
Because getting in and out of those and then making the account a wider door, wheelchair, all the stuff you got to do for that. And those are things that people really need. And those are things that make the quality of life, if you're talking about, right? So, but you're willing to accommodate and help people to find a way to get it done. Is that right?
We typically try to go over the top as much as we can to make that happen, at least.
That's cool. Well, with that, let's go ahead and bring on our guest. Brad Cook is going to join us now, everybody. And so, as a matter of having a team and people that are going to make this thing happen, tell me a little bit about why you hired quality people and what it's like to get those people to come work for you.
The quality people is where it's at. If you don't have quality people, you don't have a quality product. Without a quality product, you're not staying in business. And I strive to make sure that we really do everything we can to accommodate everybody and and try to suit their needs. They're our number one. They're our asset. They're the reason we're here. I mean, I can't thank these guys enough every day that they come and put in. I hear from our subs every day. They call us. I mean, I'm stuck on the phone sometimes with them for 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour. I'm like, hey, look, you got a job to go back and finish, don't you? I know you love chatting, but let's get this stuff done. But that's how we are. We're more than, again, just just coworkers. We're a team. We're family.
So here he is, everybody. Give a welcome to our guest, Brad. Tell me, what's it like working with these guys, and why did you decide to go this path with your career?
Oh, I can tell you, it is absolutely amazing. It's by far one of the best jobs best companies I've ever worked for. I know Amanda and David kind of touched on it earlier, but we are all literally like family. We do everything together, we take care of each other, and we just make a really, really good team.
Tell me more about that. Why is that so important to you?
That's very important to me in jobs, just because, I mean, if you don't have a good team, you don't have trust, it's not worth working for a company or giving 110% or going above and beyond. And when you're really treated like we all are treated as employees and subs and just family together, it goes a long way.
Well, that sounds like you've got a great situation here where you can provide a great product and give some people, a way to make a living and provide for their family. And so, obviously, it sounds like Brad appreciates that.
Oh, yeah.
Is everybody as good a worker as Brad?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, most days.
Okay.
But, I mean, I could tell you the really awesome part on our end is, not only being able to feed your own family and pay your bills, but it's really neat to, to have others that that depend on you. And, we depend on each other. We each have our tasks. We have our jobs we do, and we all make a living from it. And, we're comfortable. Nobody's struggling. I make sure that, that nobody's in a hard spot, because we're family. It's important. I want to make sure that everybody's fed and doing well.
So, Brad, tell me a little bit about what's it like with some of these jobs. What is it like? You're out there, you're dealing with the public here. You've got to make everybody happy.
Yes, you
Tell
do.
me,
Yeah, everybody happy.
Everybody happy.
You enjoy this? Tell me what it's like.
Yes, I absolutely love it. The way that we take our work over the top of everybody else's, it's kind of become almost a running joke with us when we take a set of plans and then one of us bounces another idea off somebody, and then another one of us runs with it, and then we just, at the end, the product just turns out and finishes so cool.
So this is a collaboration, right? You've got to make sure that everybody's got, because no two builds are going to be exactly the same.
Never.
And then you've got something where you're going, oh, wait a minute, this piece we didn't realize, and here's something we got to fix. Brad, are you often in a situation where you've got to make these adjustments on the fly?
Oh, yeah. Just about every day.
You're making it happen.
Adjustments are made on the fly, some of them good.
That's like 2 hours before we're here.
Well, tell me about that. What's that like? Have a little pressure there?
Oh, yeah, it's always pressure, but the good thing is everybody's got a creative mind. So it's like when you do have to make those decisions on the fly, David will come over and he'll be like, well, why'd you do that? I said, because that works right here, and that's and it does. Or, hey, I thought this is going to look really cool. We put a lot of angled walls in basements, which finished right, they really change the dynamic of a basement.
As you saw that other picture.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's talk about some of the work there. We've got a lot of stuff that we can show off here, and so I'm going to put this up. I'll go real wide so everything's up on the wall there. But point at something and tell me what you'd like to share with everybody about some of what you're putting together.
Just like, Brad was mentioning, sometimes dimension to a product. I mean, as you look at the framing down some of these, you've got, like he mentioned, the angled walls where we create a little bit different look and fit, because sometimes everything just being square doesn't always work. And then, somebody to throw in an archway. Or
right.
Something decorative. They want to do like a little window that's not really a window, but just like an opening that just kind of hit a pole, a structural pole in, and Brad's point was just sometimes a customer may bring something to you, and you say, look, if we could take this little piece here and do this with it, it's going to make it look that much better.
Okay, yeah, I'm scrolling here through some of these pictures. Here's kind of a montage here. Tell me
Yeah.
what's going on here. This is from an open storage area to now where they've converted that into.
So I mean, that's another perfect example as far as those windows were never existing that we put in to essentially, again, accommodate bedrooms and living space. We can put them in concrete case walls and framed walls. I mean, not many people can actually do a window that doesn't exist. It's actually a really fun thing that we do. You got a lot of replacement window companies out there, and we just do them when there's none there.
We're not replacing one. We're creating.
We're just creating
one, right?
a new one.
All right, pretty good looking stuff there. I wanted to take a look at some of these jobs that you've got here because I was going lots of work. It looks like something going into some of these.
The bathroom rough ends.
Okay,
Yeah, those are always fun.
Those
Tell
are-
me what's going on here. They did not have the plumbing necessary.
It may either be a situation where there's no plumbing there, or you elected to have the builder put it in and they put it where they want, and it's not always in the most ideal place. We have one that we're actually getting ready to start. They haven't even put eyes on it yet, but the builder, no kidding, put the bathroom rough right in front of the furnace where you can't, it's not even legal. You can't even put the bathroom where they roughed it, so we have no choice but to relocate it, which that's a little bit of kind of what it looks like. Sometimes the trenches are longer and
Yeah,
deeper.
you're digging into some cement there, and you're getting.
And it's all by hand. You can't get machines inside.
Right,
Yeah.
there's no big tractor you pulled in there to do that. Obviously, a little bit more here. What you've got going on? Tell me, is this a downstairs kind of a kitchen?
Yeah, kitchenettes are a big
kitchenette?
thing that a lot of customers of ours love because a lot of contractors that do what we do hate dealing with bars. Bars and kitchens are almost a whole different product, a whole different project when it comes to doing these. They can be a headache because as far as when it comes to finding cabinets to fit, waiting on them, getting countertops, fitting everything that could take days extra to essentially finish and create. And a lot of our customers call knowing that we have no hesitation to do those. And almost every other house that we do a basement on, we end up putting a bar in.
We do wind up adding a bar.
All the
Well,
time.
that makes a lot of sense. Here's a kind of a large set.
There's another one.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to try to.
That was a
the larger
massive
version
bar
of
that we put in
But
that
here,
one.
I mean, there's a lot of space been put
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. And so this is where you can say, and along the whole lounging area I've got there, I also want somewhere I can hang out with my friends and then have a few drinks, right?
Absolutely.
Somewhere to get some nice refreshments. I'm going to zoom in here on that for everybody. But this is what you end up doing. Brad, what's it like putting these together for people so that they can get everything they need to accommodate?
It's amazing. Amanda kind of brushed on a little bit earlier. Just, you'll deal with a customer that either knows what they want or they don't know what they want. And when they don't know what they want, we get to kind of run with it and be creative. And in the end, it really, really turns out nice. And a lot of customers can't see it until it's actually up and done. They trust you, but they just can't understand it until it's up and done, and then their vision, and then they are super happy.
Another kitchen area here you can see, and lots going on here. I mean, you guys have got such a wide variety. Take a look here on their website, everybody. You can see, this is their Facebook, but if you do a Google search, One Stop General Contracting, and just a plethora of examples of incredible work there. Boy, digging through some cement, some decking, and obviously these basements are just amazing with what you've put together. How many people say I need that extra bedroom, right? And there's an example of one.
Yep.
And now you've got another whole floor to the to the house where somebody can live.
You buy a house and you got 2 kids, and you get a third kid. You need another bedroom. I mean, it happens a lot.
And as many basements as we've done and as many floors have I laid, I still remember this one. This is my absolute favorite floor that we've ever put in.
That looks great. Yeah, that flooring looks dynamite too.
Yes.
It's a love or hate, I feel like. We get customers that absolutely love it or just like, ugh.
All right. And this one caught my attention too. This is a heck of a bar. Like if you're a hockey fan, sports fan, baseball fan, you got it all right here. And this gives you, wow, how many people can you sit there at this bar and hang out with your buddies?
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the goal. Going back to communication and giving and presenting of what you want. If somebody doesn't have a clue of exactly the area how they want it to be, we kind of interview them, essentially in the same aspect of how many people do you want to sit there. I mean, something as simple as like a deck, and I'd say, how big is your family? How big do you host? When you want a bar, do you want something extravagant? Do you want to be able to host 15 people? Do you just want to hang out there and just be able to have a spot to unwind in your own?
Yeah, well, like I said, incredible accommodations here. Another example of a bedroom there for everybody to take a look at. But literally, is there anything you don't do? I guess I'm trying to figure out if there's anything that you just say no. Because I see you're digging through foundations to put plumbing in. Obviously, that's some stuff that goes above and beyond. But you're taking care of every problem.
So I mean, the big thing that I try to emphasize is, I mean, we've gotten to that point where we're crew run. I mean, we don't do really many one-man sized jobs anymore. I mean, we can if we're there. I always emphasize to people, call us on something that is out of your hands. You know, you need a crew for. You need somebody who's knowledge and licensed. You know, yeah, we can come out and patch that drywall for you if you got a hole and you got mad and punched in or something. But
right.
But you know, we're more specialized in taking that hole you made and making a whole new area.
Now here's a bathroom for you if you want to talk about shower, sink, tub, everything involved there. What kind of plumbing had to go into getting this thing put together?
That was actually a really funny one that we made a joke. So as we actually had to plot that out, it was another basement one. We actually mapped it all on the ground. You know, had the customer with us to try to, you know, form how he wanted it situated. It looked like we were actually making a game with all the lines. We had reference lines to locations of where everything needed to be, where the plumbing had to go, how to get drainage right, and have proper ventilation. There's a lot that goes into it that, you know, people just think, oh, it's, you know, wastewater, it just goes in a pipe. It's not that simple.
It wasn't the most difficult one, but it was definitely one of the most unique ones that we've done.
It was very classy of a finish.
Brad, what's it like? How many times are you caught in a situation where, like, I see your vision, I understand what you want, but we're going to have to do that a different way, and then you got to make it happen?
It happens sometimes like that. Usually we can kind of all work through different problems and make it work for what the customer wants, but sometimes there are instances where something just can't be the way that you want it or you envision it, just
whether
because
it's not, physical.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of we got to make it happen. As my mom would say, the show must go on.
Yes.
There's going to be a way to get this done. You're the one who's stuck there going, okay, I'll figure this out. Is that right?
I do my best. I will tell you that we have scratched our heads on many situations where I'm like, how are we going to even make this happen? But we've made it happen.
And how many years have you been working in the industry now? And had
I've been with
great boss and mentor. Right?
Yes, I've been with David and Amanda for 5 years now.
Okay.
So I did construction work before that, a lot of maintenance work and stuff like that before that. But I have been with them that long, and I do not intend to go anywhere.
Well, a heck of a crew here, everybody. This is who you need to call. OneStopGCLLC.com. Do I have that memorized by now?
Yeah.
That's a great and easy website. There it is, everybody. OneStopGCLLC.com. One Stop General Contracting. Get a hold of these guys. They will make your house beautiful. Giddy up.